So you mentioned the comparison chart, and if you have multiple listings, what gets better results in the comparison chart? Put your items or multiple items that you sell and then provide comparison between them, or comparison chart that compares your item against your competition, where you put their ASIN and their picture, and then if you like, create your own subjective rating, so to speak. What do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, I would never advertise your competitors on your listing. So just stick to your own listings in your comparison chart, just so that you can entice customers to say, maybe there's one item in your comparison chart that has something that you don't have in your current listing, so they're interested in that product. So all the advertising space that you can get for your own brand, you want to stick to within your own brand. So I would not recommend generally adding competitor products onto the comparison chart, even though that would make sense if you're kind of new and you're just like, well, I want to compare it to this other brand. But I mean, customers have the option to see those other brands, and you really just want to maximize your space and adding your products onto your content.
Well, I'm gonna take the other side on this
That's fair.
idea. I tell you the reason why.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's if you are brave enough to show your product against the competition, you know what that does. First of all, it gets the consumer to trust you more, because you are not just pumping up yours. You are showing, look, this is mine, this is theirs. As long as there is a fair comparison. And when I say fair comparison, for example, you have a particular feature and they have the same feature. Show that I have it, you have it. So that's one. The other thing is, yes, they are going to see your company, because you're not going to put some real low volume competition. You're going to put the real heavy hitters in that category. So they're going to see those, of course. But now you're giving them why yours is a better value. So one way I use the comparison charts is, I always tell people, look, at the end of the day, when you're driving a car, if I say to you, how fast are you going? And you say to me, very fast. What does that mean? Right? Doesn't mean anything. But if you say 85 miles an hour, say, well, that's fast. So you reduce the concept into a number that can be easily used in comparison. So what I do is, when you are comparing, always come up with a number at the end that indicates the value. For example, give some examples for you. We've got a client who sells floor coverings, and these floor coverings are fairly high ticket items, and they sell two sizes. One size covers 300 square feet, the other one covers 600 square feet. And there's competition. Well, guess what? Competition never sells anything as large as 600 square feet or even 300. They don't sell it as a kit. They sell just the main ingredient. So what we did, we thought, okay, first of all, if you look at the competition, their price point is like $99, $100. Our price point is $450 on one item, $700 on the other. So what we did was, we created a metric called value per mil. Mil being the surface space. And guess what happened? In our clients, that came to be the cheapest compared to the others. So they would have to buy 10 cans or 15 cans only to get the job done that our client does with just one kit. So that, of course, you make that number big and bold, and then you can then show exactly what kind of a value they are getting, because ultimately shoppers want value, not necessarily the cheapest, but the highest value. So if you reduce it down to that value component, and then you compare that with the competition, then that's a way where you are appearing to be, at least, first of all, honest, and second, fair, and third, better value. So what do you think about that approach?
Yeah, and if I said never, I did not mean to. Absolutely. Like sometimes it does make sense. And we have launched, now that I'm thinking about it, we have launched A+ content where we show competitors. I think what I'm looking for, if I do an A+ content and it does make sense, and I think in certain situations showing competitors, what I'm looking for is something like you just said, like a specific value component that is way higher the competitors that you can really show through that comparison chart. So that is something that we done. For example, I think we launched it was like a menstrual product, a menstrual cup versus a tampon versus a pad. So there's these different, types of menstrual products. And the one that we were launching had had several specific components that were significantly better than our competitors. So we did do a comparison chart showing competitors. So yeah, if I said never do that, that's not what I meant to say. I think typically and usually we do cross-selling across within our brand, but I think if you can find a specific metric or something that is so much better that you really want to advertise that, hey, we are better than the competition because of this, then yeah, it's not a bad place to show in the comparison chart.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You don't want to put your competition next to yours without really getting something out of it. And just being fair and honest is not enough. At the end of the day, people are not just looking for just honesty or fairness. They're looking for value. So without having that value component that quantifies why yours would be a better purchase, I think, just stick to showing your items. That would be the better way. Well, this is great. So I guess we can talk about testing and then look at numbers and blah, blah, but there's no end to that conversation. And especially if we have limited time.